Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking about statements made by the Bahamian MP, Mr. Leslie Miller, referring to the exile of transgender persons to...
So he wanted to create a prison, island prison
no,
for
his
transgender
argument
people?
was purely on his Judeo-Christian beliefs that is a wrong lifestyle. Basically, I think it came out of frustration because Bahamas is preparing for...
so it was an expression of frustration
by preparing for
Christian.
a referendum regarding discrimination. And the gay and transgender community there is saying that while it is addressing discrimination, is not addressing specifically discrimination against transgender or gays in the Bahamas. So out of frustration with the situation, he says, pack all them to an island, I'll give them $1,000 to start off. They can't reproduce, eventually all them will die off and we won't have to deal with all these issues anymore.
This guy has a very fertile imagination.
You know, but then we move across to what's happening over in the Philippines, and we have the president-elect, Mr. Duterte, who has made news internationally for some of his own outrageous statements, but those cannot be easily dismissed as the Bahamian MP or even Donald Trump over in the United States, even though he has been...
This is a guy who has been mayor for 30 years.
Over 30 years in Davao, in the south of the Philippines. And he has been a mayor for 30 years.
On the basis of implementing some of the
things that he said.
things he's been saying.
And he has admitted openly that he will plunge 100,000 criminals into the Manila Bay. That's his approach to dealing with crime. In Davao, under his mayorship, the crime there has gone to record lows, and he has admitted that he has killed people in the past. One of the statements that he was taken to task for was a statement regarding the murder and rape of an Australian missionary in his city some years ago.
And he said he should have been among the first.
Yeah, you know, in the gang rape, you know, and you don't expect that kind of statement coming from a mayor.
Was yet more recently, just before the end of the campaign, he reiterated that if he becomes president, he's going to ask the police to identify all criminals and drug dealers and kill all of them.
Yeah.
Kill all of them. And he was asked, did you say kill? He said, yes. I will instruct that the police kill all of them. And I remember telling him, you could imagine how many impacts reports that man might have to receive.
I'm certain he's gotten the attention of the United States, because as you hear those things, that's automatically what comes to your mind. But the fact is, his approach has worked in his city. And in a combination of that approach with the threats, you have a situation where you were faced with a communist organization fighting down there, and they armed a lot of the militias.
The Mindanao.
And those same militia people have now become, you know, government tools, you know, death squads. You have CCTV cameras all over Davao, and based on, you know, the combination of the threats and the CCTV, you have to be an idiot to commit a crime in Davao. It has worked for him at the city level. Will that same
now
kind
what
of
he wants to do now, he's saying he's
nationally?
going to elevate that to a state level.
Yeah.
Now there again, the Philippines, like the Bahamas, is a multi-island territory. You can't finish count how many islands are in the Philippines. In Bahamas, no one person outside of the Bahamas can tell you how many islands they have there. But I think what we have seen in the Philippines, we have to see it against the background that 30 years ago, just 30 years ago, the Philippines had a revolution to get rid of Ferdinand Marcos and Imelda, his wife. The Marcos family was the most hated name in the Philippines for 3 decades.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. A. Marcos was up for vice president and he lost, and
his son,
he claims, his son, Ferdinand and Isabella's son. I saw Isabella Marcos in her 80s, as well dressed as always, campaigning
and
for her son.
And she's still a councilwoman.
And she's still a councilwoman.
A lot of the family is still in politics.
And basically, what I heard, an explanation I heard from a regular person interviewed by the press, was that in the 30 years since Marcos' dictatorship was overthrown, nothing has been done to give justice to the people who suffered. Nothing has been done to bring to justice the corrupt and the persons responsible for the killing and the mayhem. And the extent to which the Marcos family had been allowed to go scot-free, to the extent that they were able to re-emerge on the political scene, with the wife, Isabella, winning her seat in the council, and she's still there, and then their son going up for vice president, creating the possibility prior to the decision that another Marcos will not be the next president of the Philippines. So the Philippines people are basically seem to be saying to me and to the world, hello, we got rid of Marcos. The people in the last 3 times have done nothing. We have to try something new. Let's go for a tough talker. Because the other people were all nice little smooth talkers, covering up and pasting up and building new family fortunes. So let us go. What do you talk about?
I don't think that can apply to the last president, Benigno Aquino. I think a lot of this campaign, like the previous 2 or 3, have been based on elimination of corruption, a big problem in the Philippines.
Yes, but from the standpoint that his mother was president and the Aquino, you see the dynasties.
Yeah, but then he has done a good job of addressing some of the economic issues.
You think he would have won a 3rd term?
I think he could have, because under his leadership, a lot of infrastructure, a lot of stuff has been done. The economy grew, I think, at least 6%. But again, because of his mother's changes to the constitution, he could not qualify for a 2nd term.
But then if he had done such a good job, then why didn't the people support the person he chose as his successor? They didn't choose his party. They rejected his party. So therefore, they did not accept that he had done a good job as president.
Some of the part of the problem is the same problem that we face here. The prime minister can come and say, yes, we've had economic growth, but if the man on the street feels, I'm not feeling that economic growth.
That's the
so
point.
on paper, you have the 6%.
And that's where.
But the average Filipino will tell you, I haven't felt it. The wealth is not equitably distributed.
And that is where I'm shifting focus to the United States. That the new Philippine incoming president is, like you said, a leaf from the Trump book. I mean, his statements are even more outlandish than anything Donald Trump has said.
Except in his case, I don't think he's just saying it for the media coverage and for the exposure. I think
he's serious.
He genuinely means it.
The only one I don't see him doing is that he said very early, if he's elected as president, he's going to stand up on the little island that the Philippines and China are in territorial dispute over. He'll go alone and he'll stand up there for a Philippine flag and challenge the Chinese to come and move him from there. He just might do it. Now that one will be for media. That'll be a Trump style media thing. But I think in both of those cases, what you have is a situation of both Trump and this guy having been able to found the mechanisms to tap into and attract the anti-establishment vote. In the case of Trump, he's found a way to kick the Republican establishment in the teeth and to, like he said, pull Paul Ryan over quicker than he would have thought in the name of unity.
But has he pulled him over?
Well, Ryan hasn't given up. I mean, Ryan said he was not ready to, and now all he's saying now is we have to have unity. It means if unity of and preservation of unity on the part of the party is one, I think his appeal is more to fellow Republicans, hello, let's gather around Trump, rather than, as people would have expected, one who should say, hey, Trump, stop behaving bad. This is our party. You know, you're in front. But Trump is saying, hello, you haven't spent a cent on me. I'll go home with all my marbles if you not play the game.
We're due for a break. Let's take the break. When we come back and wrap up our conversation and the program. You're watching The Press Club. We'll be right back.